Hello Leo, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we'll look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story, so we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation, and to leave what does not. On that note, and especially if you're a cross-watcher, just know that this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Leo, let's jump on in. We're going to start with overall energy, the oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. So let's start with your energy toward the person you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. This is for Leo's side of this connection. Trapped. You feel trapped in an energy or in a cycle when it comes to this connection. Soulmate recognition. Okay. So you're dealing with a connection that feels incredibly meaningful on a lot of different levels. I feel like this is one of those connections where like you recognize this person on a deeper level, like kind of see their soul, I guess, in some sort of way. And I think that, yeah, it's like that has made it a little bit harder for you to make decisions that align with what's best for you, because I feel like there's so much at stake in this connection because of that very like deep connection that you have. I don't necessarily know what's going on, but there's obviously some sort of like I said, like cycle or energy that you're not loving, but you feel very, very trapped in. This person's energy toward Leo. It's like you're wanting things to be different or to be better. I don't know. Let me just see. This person's energy toward you, Leo. It's not trapped in the sense that you're like upset with being in the connection. It's like there's something about the connection or about like a cycle within it that you feel trapped in. Robotic. This person feels very withdrawn, almost like emotionless in some way. Euphoria. So it feels like their energy went from being like this incredibly exciting and, you know, beautiful energy that they were putting into this connection to then being very withdrawn, almost very emotionless, very robotic. Yeah. And then there's the breakups and makeups. So I feel like that's the cycle here. It's like they withdraw, they come back. It's very wishy-washy back and forth here. And I feel like it's been very confusing for you because you do see this connection as something that's really important. And I feel like in your mind, you're like, well, I would never act this way toward you. So like, why are you doing these things? Or like, why are you acting this way toward me? Which can make things really hard for sure. I don't necessarily know what's happening. I just feel like it's very like in and out. It's very like all or nothing almost here in some way. Truth of the connection between Leo and this person. It's like it's like sometimes they're like, yeah, like present and in the connection and things feel really good. And then there's times where they feel really withdrawn and you're feeling really lost about things. Truth of the connection between Leo and this person, please. Quality time. Connection. There's that deeper connection here. It's like Let me see. There's one more here. I feel like there's one more that's important to this message. Deja vu. With reciprocity too. But I want to focus on these 3 cards. So I feel like this definitely is a deep connection for both people. And I feel like both people can see that, feel that, and recognize that. And I actually feel like that's part of the issue. Not in the sense that the connection itself or the feelings that you have for each other are the issue, but like the way that I feel like it makes this person feel, especially if this person isn't used to things being so intense and so deep and having so much potential and promise. It might be something that they tend to kind of like shy away from or push away, not because it's you or anything that you're doing, but because it's something that is like so, it's like so good, too good to be true almost in their eyes. And I feel like that's why the wishy-washy energy happens, or like the back and forth happens. It's like they desire it, so they bring themselves, closer to you and closer to the connection. And then with this quality time card here, I feel like you guys spend time together and things are good. But then when things start to get deep, or when they start to get serious, or you just kind of reach this point where then this person starts to withdraw, and that makes you go, well, what the heck? Like, I thought things were good. And then maybe start to psychoanalyze, like, what did I do wrong? Like, why are they doing these things? And, and that can really drive a person pretty crazy. So I definitely feel that, this deja vu, this is definitely the energy of a cycle. And the cycle is what you feel trapped in. It's like you're wanting things to be consistent and to be at a place of like stability. And I think that it's something that you see as like very possible, but you're kind of stuck in how things are at right now. That's that energy of feeling trapped. But like then there's this part of you that's like, but I know, or I see this person for who I know that they can be, and I see this connection for what I know it can be. So it's like hard for you to just like you don't want to give up on it, obviously. You see that potential. So let's see overall theme of this reading for Leo. Overstepped boundaries. It feels like your boundaries keep getting crossed here. Your needs keep not being met. Like you're kind of like spending your time like waiting for this person, waiting for them to come around, to choose you, to commit. Yeah, because then you have second option with commitment. It feels like you're always wanting to be like further up on their list. And it feels like there is this energy of maybe treating you a little bit like an option. Which is not something that obviously you deserve. But I feel like it's hard because you see the depth of the connection, and that makes it really difficult for you to see things clearly, or at the very least, like even if you are seeing things clearly, to make decisions from that place, because there's so much potential here that I feel like it's like you really know is possible. So I don't know necessarily what's going on. So let's break this down a little bit more. Trapped with soulmate recognition. This is Leo's side of this connection. I think that that's what's interesting about this connection, Leo, is I feel like you put up with a lot in this connection that you wouldn't typically put up with. King of Swords energy, so you could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But I also feel like this is you in a way. It's like you're very headstrong, and not necessarily always in a bad way, like, because I think that can be taken in a negative context. So that's not what I mean. I feel like you're very determined, and when you like kind of get your sight set on something, like you're willing to do whatever it takes to really make that happen and to get there. And I feel like this connection is one of those things where it's like you have your eye on this person, you have your eye on this connection because it, you know, it provides you with this opportunity of so much potential. But in the meantime, I feel like there's this energy of feeling very you know, unhappy with where things are at. I don't know why I'm shuffling again, but I feel like I'm supposed to, so I'm going to keep doing it. You also have, so you have the Sun in reverse and the Lovers here, and obviously the Sun, you know, represents Leo energy. The Lovers kind of this Gemini energy, which kind of goes along with that King of Swords energy. But again, you definitely do not have to be dealing with an air sign. I just feel like I like to call it out just in case it helps someone. And I think that it's interesting too because this person's almost like your kryptonite. It's like they're a weakness for you. Not that you are weak or that they even, like this person sees you as weak. That's not what I'm saying. But again, it's like you put up with so much more from this person than you typically would. And I feel like that's because the nature of the connection, because of how strong you feel that this really is. Because I do feel like there's this part of you that feels as if, like, if it's not them, like if you don't end up with them or if this connection doesn't pan out, like it'll never be as good as it could be if it were with them, which is what kind of makes things a little bit more challenging for sure. Yeah, because with the Hermit in reverse, it's like this energy of feeling almost very alone in the connection, feeling like you're not being considered or your needs or your feelings don't matter to this person. And I think a lot of that stems from that wishy-washy energy. It's like when they're present and available in the connection, it feels like you know, a dream come true. But then when they're withdrawn, it feels like, you know, they just aren't considering you at all. And I think that that is going to be really complicated energy for anybody to be able to navigate. The Four of Wands. But it's like you have this, it's like you have your sights set on this idea of this person. It's almost like you see them through the lens of their potential. Or like, because again, going back to what I said, it's like you guys are connected on this soul level. So I feel like it's like you see them through the lens of that, like of their higher self. It's like you're so connected to their higher self. So you see them through that lens. So you see that potential. And you're seeing them, the connection through that potential as well. Because it's like, if they can just be this person that I know that they can be because I know them. It's like, I know their heart. I know who they really are. If they could just show up as this person, then things would be so good. So I think that there's a lot going on here. And I think that it's not so simple, right? It's never really black and white. And sometimes like the idea that we have of another person or the, what's a good way of putting that? I guess the potential that we see in them that we really hold on to can sometimes blind us from like other things too. Like it's like we don't see the negatives because we see them like only through the positives, or like we see the negatives but we feel that the positives outweigh it, so we put up with more than like we deserve because we feel like it's worth it, or we feel like eventually things are going to be more good than bad, and so it'll be worth it in the end. This person's energy toward you, euphoria with robotic. It's inconsistency is what it comes down to. This person's energy toward Leo. No? Okay. Want the cards to turn all the way around or hit the table? Like that. The Seven of Cups. It's like this person doesn't know what they want. And not in the sense of like, do they want you or do they want someone else? Like, that's not what I'm saying. But it's like, I think that this connection, yeah, because there's the Nine of Cups and Ten of Pentacles. Or, I switched that around. Nine of Pentacles and Ten of Cups. And this is what I said. It's almost as if they see this as too good to be true. So why do they not know what they want? I'm going to keep both of these, but just as the same message. I'm going to keep pulling. Oh, well, there's the Nine of Cups, but it's in reverse. Which, negative expectations. They're very jaded in a sense. I feel like when it comes to love, it's like they expect to get hurt. So they're kind of stuck in their own karmic cycle here of playing it safe in their relationships. And this is a connection that they know is not safe. Not that you're not safe, but meaning that like they could really get hurt here. It's like they see the depth of this too. And I said that at the very beginning. It's like they see the depth of it too. So Wheel of Fortune reverse, High Priestess in reverse, Knight of Pentacles. And then there's this Devil here. So it's so interesting how these messages are coming through, because it's almost like this person is at war with themselves. It's like they see this connection as something that they see it for what it is, right? They see the potential too. They see the strength of it just as much as you do. And I feel like they do like care about that. But then it's almost like they're struggling to see, they've probably experienced a lot of failed relationships in their life. Maybe they're a child of divorce. Maybe they just expect relationships to fall apart, or they expect relationships to be something that is more of a negative thing. Like they are used to only ever getting hurt in their relationships or whatever. It's like they're very jaded when it comes to love, like I kind of said. So it's they struggle to commit because in their mind, commitment is opening themselves up for heartbreak. And then this connection comes along specifically, and it provides even more potential of them getting hurt because they see the value in it as well. So it's like they're not just afraid of getting hurt, but they're afraid of the depth in which they would get hurt by this connection. So that's why I feel like that they have that desire. So they're drawn to it because of that desire, but then things get deep and things get real and things get intense, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to deal with this. Like, this is opening me up too much. This is requiring too much vulnerability. This is making me too afraid of what could go wrong. So those fears kick in, and that's when I feel like they start to withdraw. And that inconsistency has nothing to do with you. And I think that that's where there's a need to kind of shift perspective of what's going on here, because you're wanting this consistency from this person, like for them to choose you to commit like on a deeper level. Like even if you and this person are married, like wanting them to commit to you in a sense of like being there for you, showing up for the connection, like being present. And it feels like it's something that this person struggles with because they haven't met themselves on that level. It's like, because people can only meet us where they're at, right? If somebody hasn't met themselves on a deep level, if somebody hasn't worked through their own fears of being unlovable and unworthy, because that's what past heartbreak, puts into us. It puts these fears that we're unlovable and unworthy and incapable of having love. So there's a part of us that starts to believe that anytime we experience love, it means that it's going to be painful. It means that it's going to be something that's difficult. And I feel like your energy here is so kind and compassionate and loving, and like there's a lot of empathy where you're wanting to be understanding for what this person is going through and why they're doing the things that they do. Maybe you have an understanding of the things that they've been through in the past, or maybe like, you can recognize that their actions are hurting you, or their inactions or whatever are hurting you, but you also understand like why they do the things that they do. And that's where we have to be careful, because it's important to have empathy for other people and to be understanding of like their experience. But, I do think that this world would be a better place if more people had empathy. But I also know that toxic empathy is a very real thing too. And that's where we start to have so much empathy for other people and for what they're going through and their experience that we under empathize with our own experience. So we say, your feelings matter more than mine. You experiencing the love that you deserve matters more than me. And we kind of jump into this role of being almost like a savior in a way, where we say, let me pull you out of your own pain so that you can show up for this connection in the way that I need. So, then it can be everything that it has the potential of being. And I think that that's where there's a need to kind of take a step back from this and to really ask yourself, like, what is within your power and your control? Because one of the things that is not ever in our power and in our control is why other people, or what other people do, and how other people treat us. But we can always we always have control over how we respond. And sometimes we're like, well, I can put up with it. Like, I can deal with it. You know, I know this person inside and out. Like, I know how they are. Like, I can put up with it. But capacity doesn't always equal obligation. And you are deserving of consistency. You're deserving of real, consistent love, not just promises, not just potential, not just somebody who wants to love you well, but somebody who actively chooses to take the steps to do so, because this person is going to have to do some work on themselves first before they're going to be able to be consistent. Because if they want this connection, which they do on a deeper level, they're going to have to learn how to show up for it, right? Consistently, to be able to be what you need in order to receive what they deserve and what they desire, which means that them not showing up for this consistently isn't about your worth or your value, but it's about how much they're valuing themselves. And I think that that's where maybe things are going a little bit wrong here, is like you're looking at this as like, maybe if I show them that, you know, I can love them well, or that I won't hurt them, or that they can trust me or whatever, then they'll change. But that's why you're trapped in the cycle. It's like you're holding on to this hope that this person will change, that they'll do better, that they'll choose you. But you're not allowing yourself to make those same decisions for yourself, because in the process of waiting on this person to choose you, you're choosing them over and over and over again, but you're not choosing yourself. And you're not choosing yourself because I feel like you see that potential and you don't want to lose it, and nobody can blame you for that, okay? But one of the most important things we have to remember is that we have so many soulmates in this life. We do not just have one person that holds the key to our happiness and the ability to experience the love that we deserve, because people in this life are just reflections of us. And people either reflect our need for healing or reflect our healing back to us. So if somebody isn't consistently choosing us or valuing us in the way that we deserve, it's typically an indication of how we're not choosing us, how we're not valuing us. And it opens up the door for us to heal a little bit deeper so that we can become for ourselves what we're, first of all, trying to be for others, but also wanting others to be for ourselves. Because you might be so good at being so kind and compassionate and caring and understanding for this person, but it's almost like in the process of that, there's a lot of self-abandonment. And I feel like you're doing that because you feel you have to for the connection, but the connections that are meant for us and the connections that will provide us with the sustainable love that we deserve will never require us to lose ourselves in them. And I think that this connection is, it's like it's become so much more about them and what they need and where they're at than you. And like, sure, no relationship is 50-50, right? There's going to be times where, you know, one person is prioritizing the other person and vice versa, but it's usually reciprocal. And I feel like that's the thing about this that I'm seeing, is like, it's you constantly giving and constantly providing, and then sitting around and kind of waiting for whenever they, give you back that energy. So it's a lack of reciprocation and consistency from them, which is not what you deserve. You do deserve a lot more than that. And I apologize for touching my hair so much. I just got it done and it's all up in my face, so it's bothering me. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm going to hop on over to the extended You Have Connection with Quality Time. I'm going to dive deeper into this, looking at the deeper purpose and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self. As always, Leo, I appreciate your support, and I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. Bye, Leo.